Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Good evening. Hola, Cici. How are you? Good evening to you. How is your day? So, I was crocheting baby blanket earlier. Not earlier, I started a few days ago. If I can find my needle. Oh. Oh my goodness, isn't that funny? I remember my grandma used to look for eyeglasses when she had it on the top of her head. I'm getting there. I'm a grandma. Today, we're just going to do something fun. You don't have to worry about cooking, cleaning, and all that wonderful stuff. Uh, oh yeah, you are. I am. I'm getting ready to go to bed too, but I can't go to bed until almost midnight because I had thing to do in between. So to stay awake, I thought that I'd come on here and and stay awake. This will help me stay awake. um, I know, right? I'm looking for it. Yeah, I remember when a friend of mine she wears spectacles and she put it up on her head and she was like looking for it left and right. And we were sitting on the at the office and I said, are you looking for something? I'm looking for my glasses. Yeah, if you look up, maybe there is. The same thing. I did that unintentionally, inadvertently. But isn't that funny? Today, same thing. I was looking for my hearing aid. I I have this hearing aid for since 2010, I believe. No, hold on, 2012. I think when I when I suffer from this rare conditions that cause the tinnitus, the ringing in my ears. So, in order to, well, not just ring in the ear, it causes vertigo. Okay, there's a fancy name for that. I'm not even. I think it call it Chiari malformations, and there's another condition also. So with this condition, it caused me to get vertigo, but that's treated, right? But then I treated with the loss of hearings. Just last a few days, I noticed that the ringing gotten really bad. It's distorted. It depends if the stress level is high, it rises with the stress level. So it was out of batteries, and then I put it in the small bag and the coin bag with my computer bag, and then I was looking for this for 2 days. So I have to sit back and say, and do this. That when was the last time I'm using this hearing aid? I know that it was out of battery. So a small battery here. This is one of the expensive devices. When it first came out, this cost about $2,700 for this. Okay, so so what it does is that I end up losing my hearing on the right side in the company with the ringing. So the ringing is the tinnitus is 24/7. It doesn't go away. It sounds like the car alarms, really really annoying. So it oh, you do? So oh um you know, Cece, I I started about 23 years ago, the last birth of my child. That I had such a, I don't want to say nothing, but it root back into a crazy relationship that constantly battered me, not you, me, and constantly bang on my head and slapping, so it caused me to lose my hearing. Before I lost my hearing, I started this tinnitus, the ringing in the ears. It started on and off for a few years, and all of a sudden it does not go away. And so I when I got good insurance through work, I started with Sarugul. So Sarugul run a few tests, and to determine that I have two rare form of conditions. Uh, One of which is called Chiari malformations, and the other one I can't remember off my head. But that one caused a tinnitus in my ears. What I did was that I was referred to neurosurgeon. I seen so many neurosurgeon. Definitely, they wanted to do the brain surgery. Um, to because the malformations, the drooping tail of the brain that go into the little hole behind the head here, the cochlea. So yeah, so well, it going back, so I didn't want to talk about it. With that, this tinnitus, the ringing is 24/7. It doesn't go away. Um, when I stress more, the ringing is intensified. So, or even if I'm in like a really loud noise room, it echo because all this ringing, what it is just the echo in the cochlear system, that little snail thing inside the ears. Anyway, so as you know that I've been through a little bit of um, trauma, not trauma, drama, the loss of my brother and a few other things with my mom being in hospital and stuff like that. So it does cause a lot of stress on my life beside work and all that. So the ringing get intensified. Hi Galaxy 2, welcome. Um, so get your hearing aid test, get your hearing test early, because I can't remember the name of my conditions. The other one, let me see if I can find it. So I have two rare form. One definitely is Uh, let me see if I can look for it. Oh, I'm out of battery in this one. Anyways, so that our conditions, I can't remember. It was like a long medical term. So it caused the ringing in the ears. It caused the equilibrium. Okay, so the ringing in the ears, it's not just a ringing in the ears. Okay, it's not just the dizziness. Mine was a ringing in the ears, and it caused that what do you call it? Um, equilibriums. It caused the equilibriums where it threw me off from time to times and caused to vomit. Um, uh, and with the vomiting and the dizziness. No, the dizziness caused the vomiting. Okay, so with this condition, I'll come back to you on that. Um, I so I was diagnosed with two rare forms. So lucky I'm still here. So that's why I'm trying to be happy. I'm trying to live my life in the way that it's conformed with the Lord, so because He's been blessed me to the point where the doctor even say, yeah, vertigo, serious vertigo. It's like a whirlpool spin. So every time when I thank the Lord for prolong my life. So with the vertigo, it caused the vomiting. Okay, so you vomit for hours until whatever you have, until the bile, till like the yucky yellow, ew. I remember when one of the vertigo occurred, right? It started spinning seriously. I mean, you can hang on to something and feel like you're just falling off the space. Okay, so I wish that thing would come off. So with with this condition, I fell so many times hurting myself, hurting my head. So I had a few head injury to the point where I started wearing helmet. So people in my complex ask me, "Are you riding bike or skate today, Vanna? Yeah, I saw you wearing your helmet." Said, no, it was for something else. After I hurt myself a few times, I broke a few bones because when the vertigo occurred, it pulls so it pulls so badly that you lost the balance. I mean, I lost the balance, and it go ding a few times. So every time when I injured my brain, my memory get deteriorated. So yeah, so I become a little forgetful. Not that I'm aging, I have this condition that caused my brain injury. So I understood it that I that's why I always have to stay focusing on stay busy. That way my brain would be active. That I'll be active because the tinnitus that caused as a result of the the dysfunctional in the cochlea in the ear dysfunctional. So how do I deal with the tinnitus? Okay. So I at first it was really really bad. It was just like bothers a lot. I can't hear because I'm doing interpreting. So there's time when I have to do live streams interpreting. So do live streams interpreting, it's a lot of noise coming. So when the noise coming, it is like distorted. I can't really depict what people were saying. So I can do like one-on-one conversation. I can pick up like this, but when I'm in the room with with throng of crowd where everybody's talking is when I started losing that balance. So even now, I still have those conditions. Um, yeah, wow, really? You know, to be honest with you, we we gone through quite a bit, to survive this day. We survived from such a broken, not spirit. I think I survived all that. I'm not gonna say that, I came from perfect background. I'm not like that. I was married to people who promised to take care of us, but they didn't. On the top of that, they afflicted injuries and being mean, and so I didn't want to go back then. But then this is as a result of that ugly relationship that men that promise to love you, to hold, to to hold, to have through thickness and through rich and poor, and thickness and thin. So when the vow promise broken, they leave you with scars. Either the abuse relationship either leave you in scars and emotional, physical, financial, emotional, or something like this. I mean, but to survive that and to deal with the tinnitus, okay, so they call white noise. So you turn on some music that like waterfall, rainfall, something beautiful, because the ringing is depicting all the external noise and where your brain trying to figure out what is being said. So because because a hearing is no longer receivable, so the brain create this noise in the ear. So this ringing is so bad. Right now it's bad because I think I eat it when I have sinus. I was outside cooking yesterday too, and um, it was a little bit breezy yesterday, windy, and I think the dust I picked up. So I woke up with like really uh, a lot of pressure in my head, and that it affects my good ears because I lost uh, the the balance of that. So I have my hearing on just to my hearing aid is not to help would improve the hearing. Well, in a way it does, but it helped minimize the ringing in the ears because I already lost my hearing when I did the surgery, not the surgery, the antibody injection is called gentamicin to disconnect the bad nerve from the brain and the ears, because that bad nerve that caused the dizzy spell. So instead of doing the incision surgery in my brain in here to cut the to correct the problem with my vertigo. Okay, so I exchanged the constant vertigo now. So I rather have vertigo. I'm sorry. I rather have the ringing than vertigo because vertigo is more debilitated. It was so bad. It was so it was so bad is that can't drive, can't work, can't have normal life. I remember when I was a single mom, so I always have to drive the kid to school, and then when the vertigo happened on the road, so I have to pull over. It take me a few hours before the tinnitus, not the tinnitus, before the vertigo subside, and it was pretty bad until I decided that I did the research on a few options because the neurosurgeon for sure that they don't want to do the surgery on me to do to correct the ringing, to correct the vertical. No, so the ringing is not, it's out of question. It can be correct, but to correct the vertical. So they did the gentamicin treatment is is to disconnect the the nerve from that connect the brain and the cochlea, the hearing, I mean the ear. So it left me with the ringing. So it's better if the ring I can deal with the ringing than the vertigo because the vertigo is so debilitating. It was so disabling, can't drive, can't have a life, can't do anything. I mean, I'll go to shopping to the grocery store. All of a sudden, I have one at a grocery store, and I lost balance, and sometimes when I get out of the car, I lost my balance. Yeah, vertigo sucks. So I don't have the vertigo now. Sometimes I feel a little imbalanced, a little equilibrium off. So I can't really ride. And that's why I can't ride any kind of crazy ride. I can I can't ride bicycle because it's still imbalancing. So I still able to walk on high heel okay. But so with this hearing here, supposed to, because I lost my hearing completely on the right side, with that when they did the gentamicin to disconnect the nerve from my brain um and the ear. So I don't have the vertigo anymore, but the ringing is permanent. So I have to live with it. So then, like I said, for those who just started experience hearing loss or experience or verticals, experience the ringing, I make sure that you see your primary care and talk with them about getting referral to the ear, nose, and throats. They are specializing in this type of things. They can when they found all this out was through the MRI. Okay, the MRI. I went through many MRIs in my life, and when they finally found out, and that's what I have. So they offer treatment, they offer surgical and all that. So, but then I was born with caramel formation. So if I were to be dead, I would have been dead since birth. So when they found all this out, I was in my 50, and they wanted to have the surgery, the brain surgery on me. So I thought, well, I'm just gonna leave it alone. So I did some study and learn about. So I become more familiarized with the condition I have because it's so rare. It named after the doctor who discovered it. It didn't even have like a regular medical name, medical term. It just named after a doctor who discovered it. Okay, it was like in the French name, care malformations, and there was another one I can't remember off my head. That one is that caused the vertigo. Okay, so the carrier the carrier malformations is just the sunken of the tail of the of the brain back here. Was born with big brain, so something to do with like there's an opening back here, and the tail of the brain sunk into it, and it's sitting on my spinal cord, and did all that crazy stuff. So I can't explain it. Too many things to remember, so I don't need to remember. I just remember to wake up each day and thank the Lord for prolonging my life, and be as positive, be as happy. Oh, the seafood look good. The seafood looks so good. It was so simple. I and sometimes I run out of menu to do. I mean, there's so many things to cook, and a lot of things that I want to cook. It required a stove, and I don't want it to like Las Vegas is still like in the triple digits, so I didn't want to like to burn up the house to cook. So yesterday was nice and cool. I went to I drove by the the seafood store. Actually, it's a Filipino store, but they have all kind of seafoods. I thought, well, let me do something fun today. And my family are funny. Some of them like shrimp, some of them don't like shrimp, some like lobsters, some like crabs. So we never get along in term of what seafood, shell food, fish that we definitely get along with. So that's why I only cook a few, because just in case people in my family don't want this one and that, I just like I'm gonna enjoy myself. Well then the blue crab, it's less meat than the Dungeness crab, but it's so sweet. Don't cook it too long, it get dried. And then all those grill yesterday was good. The mackerel was good. The calamari was amazing. It was so tender. First, I thought calamari would be like tough, but once we grill it like that, it was like so tender. And I make that uh that Cambodian sweet, no, not sweet. Uh, the sauce was like awesome. It was so hot. I forgot about my mom, and she's like, "No!" So she was mad at me because I make the sauce was too hot for her, and then my granddaughter was too hot for her also. Because sometimes I cook to please myself, so I eat such a hot. I can tolerate such a hot food, so I will put all kind of peppers, amount of pepper that I enjoy, that I want to eat. But then I forgot that my mom can't do that anymore, and she was mad at me. And uh, so I have some watermelon for her, but she didn't eat too much. I offered her the fish, and she said, "Yeah, she's already too hot," so she's trying to cool down. And my little baby girl, she does the same way. She was like, "I'm too hot for me." She was about to jump up and down. So it was not funny, because eating spicy food was like in the blood. My mom used to eat spicier than me. I think I used to share that when she used to tell me that a day without chili is like just like missing a good day. She said that, and the chili eating help her stay healthy or stay strong. She said that when she's no longer as strong as she should be, and that her her tolerance for chili pepper was like downgrade to like zero. She cannot even have any. So now it's difficult for me to even cook now. See, when I cook at home, I have to make sure that if anything that's spicy, I would have to divide that into half for mom. And mom don't like American food. She's very Oriental. She like her rice. So with the dementia she has, it doesn't matter how many times you tell her, "Mom, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't," but she would do it anyway. If 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 I tell her too much, she will call my family up and say, "Oh, Vanna is being mean to me." And then when my sister visited me, she found out the truth. So I said, "Oh, Vanna is not being mean. You just you just ignore her completely." So yeah, so she wake up in the morning because she used to have that routine feeding the family. So we had a big rice cooker. So I tell mom, you only need to cook just a few cups, okay, 2 cups, because the grandkids are not here to eat. So isn't it? It's, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of uh, it get a little inconvenient to like to have to. So, but in American cooking, you have choices. You don't have to put. Well, no, you can't say that. Uh, in the hot sauce, maybe you have options of add or less peppers. So you who eat more spicy, you oh, he like his very spicy. Yeah, mom. I think her I think her is at stage 3-ish, even 4, because I went to the dementia training. They describe the conditions at certain level of dementia. They said that when they reach about stage 3 and stage 4-ish is when they become more confused, more combative, more stubbornness, and they they just become like not teenager, 2 or 3 years old. So they throw tantrums when they don't get their way. Oh, your hubby love spicy food. Stone, he didn't like spicy food. He didn't even like black peppers. So when I cook for him, totally different world. He would try a little bit of hot sauce, but now he he said he preserved his vocal. And I can understand him completely. There's time where he tried to impress me. He said, "Oh yeah, put me just a little bit." But for me, we know that I'm Thai descent, so people from Thailand, we eat pepper like like crazy. I mean, well, habanero don't do much to us. They said that habanero is like the spiciest, the hottest pepper. Not really. Some of the Asian chili, pretty hot. I mean, um, yeah. So, yeah. But then I learned also that in your mouth, when and your tongue and all that, you can stand different level of spiciness. It take practice though. I mean, you cannot just go jump and eat like chili for a living. You got to like practice. It's just like sport. You cannot TikTok. Thank you. Welcome. You cannot just go and have a bowl of chili. I mean, you have to practice it. You have to increase little by little. So, but for me, like I said, I was telling my audience that I think I start when my mom was pregnant, because she's Thai descent, so she was crazy about chili anyway. So my grandmother used to remind her, "Oh no, you eat too much chili pepper when when your kid born born without hair." That wasn't true at all. But, that's what my mom shared with me when she was conceiving with me, is that she's just craving for chili. I don't know about you, Cece. When I was pregnant, um, with my baby girl, I crave for that not stingy, stinky fruit, the durian fruit, that thorny, stinky fruit. I can eat 5 a day. So, so, so when she growing up, she loved the rain. When we go to market, sometimes I pay for $50 for that thorny, pungent the rain. So she loved the rain. So um, through pregnancy, that you did crave the sea fish. But I have such a terrible morning sickness anyway. So every pregnancy I have morning sickness, and I think 3 or 4 of my kids, I have morning sickness until um, the day they were born. It was that bad, because it got so bad that I didn't gain any weight on me, and my kid was like 5 pounds, 6 pounds, because I cannot retain the nutrients. So I end up having kids so little. But well, anyway, um, the reason my kid was little because they were born early. Also, because when you live in a in a battered relationship, constant abuse and physically, mentally, and that affects the pregnancy. So I always have my baby early, and I think the doctor used to ask me too, when they do assessment and all that, I would lie, nothing going on in the family, and I hide it and protect him and all that. So, but it affect the fetus, and when it's when it's not safe out in the world, and the fetus feel it, and it stresses them. So all my 6 children, I know we have kid that more than 6 pound, about 6 pound, 5 pounds the most. Yeah, I I I love kids, but at pregnancy, I didn't enjoy pregnancy because the morning sickness. I remember, in the Asian community, they eat onions and garlic every day. And when I live with the community, like at a complex of a lot of Asian folk, and they cook with, how they love. Oh, you did? I I didn't gain it all. I was only about 118, 108 cc, and I was like 127 at the end of my pregnancy, or when the baby was born. Soon as the amnio is out, placenta is out, I was down to flat. I don't even have bubbling here and stomach, nothing. I walk out of hospital like flat again. And the nurse used to ask me, "Oh, how do you do that? You you don't have any baby baby fat." Because it was so bad, and I remember that it's it was so bad. I even I can't even smell the father of the kid, his cologne, his perfume. I'm like, oh, it was terrible. Everything stink. I remember when my some of my friend, they grow garlic out at the garden, and I smell the garlic, and that threw me off every morning. It was, it, I never would really have nice pregnancy. Some people tell me that, oh, they don't have morning sickness, they don't throw up, they don't all that. So you know how it is to throw up every day, throw up so hard is that it bring out the bile, so I tell my kids, uh, yeah, I've gone through a lot with them. So I never gained weight when I was pregnant with baby. The only thing that I gained weight was on the baby itself, and the amnio synthesis. That's it. I didn't gain any weight because I was petite, and by the time I had my baby, people didn't even know I was pregnant. I was that thin, and all I do was just wearing big clothes, and people don't know I was pregnant until I was at a hospital having babies. Said, when were you pregnant? Because the baby is small and I'm too thin. So I remember all that morning sickness. I never like. The first thing I do in the morning is to be rid of all the bile. And then by mid-noon, where everybody start cooking Asian food, I can smell the garlic. I can smell all that Asian cooking. I'm like, it's mm. And then I was working with the adult day program. Uh, love my adult day program people. They really are great people. And I was their job coach, the counselor, and the worker. So I used to pick a whole bunch of them up from their home and bring them to the program and take them to where they need to go and teach them to have um, to have normal life. So we used to take them shopping. Those who work would take them to work. Those who job training, and then we take them job training and take them grocery shopping, and they have 6-7 hours a day with us, and they take them home. We pick them up. So it's called adult day program. So to qualify for the program, the individual have to diagnose with certain generic conditions. So, or born with some sort of um, not medical. It's more like mental conditions, okay, or developmental condition, and have to get diagnosed and will be referred to the regional center, and they will be the agency to oversee and manage the case, manage the people with disability life. So they get sent to the adult day program for adult day programs, and those who underage, they be going to school, so the school would take care of them. if they are. Yeah, because I was little and then I pregnant 6 times, so it got stretch mark, stretch over the stretch mark, like 6 times. Yeah, there's some scars of it, but something that I remind myself to be proud of because in the time, no one teaches anything about how to minimize the scars. I mean, the internet wasn't even available like we do here, and the first time mom, we don't know what to do, no one tell us. So yeah, I got the scar from the first pregnancy, and then after that you just get the stretch mark re-stretch. It get ugly, but then now it's not visible and not invisible, but it visible, but it gotten it shrunk over time you know so yeah, we women, we gone through too much body trauma. We I don't know how we handle it, but I think I think God really do take care of us. I mean, for us to help us to go through the childbirth and pregnancy and childbirth and all that. And well, the childbirth was difficult. I think nursing was also difficult when I remember when, since we talk about all this, might as well go all the way. a, a woman strong, Uh, so in the day where well, in Cambodia or in a undeveloped country, I'm not going to mention any other country, but because I observe and learn in Cambodia is that and that infant were not being brought up drinking milk because there was no baby formula in Cambodia. So either that they just feed them with regular condensed milk, which imported from China. Most of the condensed milk is imported from China, and so the Asian woman always breastfeed the baby. Okay. So there was no bottle fed for people in that region. So because there's no baby formula in the day, like I said, baby would live on condensed milk, which is not even good milk. But then, and that's why Asian women nurse the baby. So I learned from that principle. So I nurse my baby too. The firstborn, she was born really really early. So she has to be in the incubate, and two of my kids were in the incubate. My oldest son and my oldest baby. The rest was 6 pound. They were okay, but the one that born under 5 pound have to be in the incubate because their lung was mature and they were not fully developed, so they have to be cared for in the incubator. So I remember. I don't know if you remember, Cece, when we used to do manual pump. You don't have those fancy pump like a modern day mom these days. They have the cupping that they put on uh, the mama breast, and then it just let the machine run. She can do that at home or at work and wherever. Was this the time where, I don't know about you, but in my time we used to do the manual pump. Oh man, that was horrible. I mean, and because we didn't do feeding right and always get engorged, one of the milk duct will get stuck, or the milk gets stuck and it hurt. I mean, you have to get treated and have to express the milk to push out the, I don't know, it was like too much. Anyways, I'm saying that, I mean, I think God really do take care of women because all that pain, all the suffering, dealing with children, and I mean dealing with childbirth, dealing with nursing. um, nursing baby, nursing mom. So with that experience, I learned that we, like I said, we super strong. Manual pump was like it was torture. I remember when I have to ask my kid to help pump, because it was like um, that little tube with the tube like that, and in the tube where you pull and push to get the suction. Oh, by the time you get an ounce of milk, it was like so. What I did was that because my baby was premature and they wouldn't be able to come home with me, so St. Joseph is really, really good hospital, and then General Hospital, San Joaquin County General Hospital. This is in California, Stockton, California. So they take compassion on me. So um, they allow me to come in and use the hospital pump. So the hospital pump has like a mega pump where they're a little modernized. They run by their pump run by electricity, so it pump quick, and that helped because but then I only can go in a few times per day to pump because you have to get to the hospital to do that. And then with the premature baby, the doctor encouraged mom to breastfeed the baby to help bond and to um, help develop the child. So I did breastfeeding with all the six and the at least 8 months to a year. After they start growing the teeth, that's it. I'm done with you guys' teeth and too much. You have to deal with their biting you, because I I have a little Brody. Brody, she's not breastfed baby, so she grew up on formula and artificial nipple. So she's teething. So I see that she was like biting her um, her, her bottles, and um, this last a few days she didn't eat very much. She didn't take too much milk, but she eats. She eat food now. She love her food. Um, so today she only take about 6 ounces. That's all. I mean, the rest time, I fed her 2 times when she's with me, and she getting real attached to me now. She didn't want to go with her mom. And in the morning when she get drop off, soon she see me, she be smiling and be giggling, and her dad will say her dad drop off. Say, uh-huh, I see how you are. So in the evening, her mom would be the one to pick her up, and her mom would say, "Hi, Brody, ready to go home?" Brody couldn't understand. I remember when my sweetheart was teaching her how to crawl, and she, for being 7 months old, I think she understood, and so she's trying to imitate him. We were laughing with her, you know. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you get your treatment? I got burned too. Yesterday, I well, not what you gotten to. Mine was just like it was just was the hot handles. I do that all the time, like, and my daughter, she cut herself really really deep to cooking the other day, and you know. And one of the things that we women go through too, when we cook, we have tendency to cut ourselves, to chop ourselves. And you see that and there's a favorite spot right there. Okay, it's a little dent right there, right there. Okay, so right there, when I chop, when I dice, this this I cut this little spot right here so many times that it dented. It had like it had a little pattern there. I don't know if you can see or not see that. See that? Okay, so is that from all the chopping? I went to them, you know, yeah, because Cambodian do a lot of chopping, especially the when you do one of the curry, one of those what do you call it, lemongrass spicy lemongrass, or do lemongrass paste, and it doesn't matter how professional you are. There's time where I'm like, oops, uh, yeah. So I cut them so many times now, so it's a trace there, it's a track there. So um, did you just bandage it? I know. I remember, yeah, the juice get into it, the salt get into it. But you know what? When the salt get into it, it help heal quicker. And back in the day, where I think every time we get cut, grandma and grandpa would put salt in it. I don't know what it is. It's like it burned. It's already hurt enough when you get cut, and then you put salt in it. Is worse than putting alcohol, or even uh, wound cleaner. I mean, I don't know. Old people, they operated like in the most awkward way. I mean, I don't know where to learn all that stuff. First of all, they never been to medical school. But well, you know what? I can't say anything bad because look at the Chinese herbalists. I mean, I don't know if they have school for herbalists or not. But then it seem like they know everything about roots and about the medicinal. So we the one that we think that we relying so much on uh, on modern medical treatments, and in the day growing up, we weren't that modernized. Cambodia wasn't well. We live in a village, so we were far away from the civilizations. I mean, there's a house doctors, and he will do the immunizations, and there's no medical clinic in the area where my village was uh, my village was at. It is a big village, it's not, but then there's a doctors and there's a midwife, but there's no hospital or medical clinic for. So remember when someone sick and call on the doctor, so the doctor make home visit in the day. You don't have to go to clinic. So the doctor just depart from his home on a horse carriages and be right there at your house, and yeah, and if he need to administer the IV, he will do. If he need to do immunizations or injection, he will do. And most of the treatments in Cambodia is not done by oral medication. It's all about, yeah, it does. It's it's stintial. So yeah, I remember when the doctor only had a couple needles. So every time when he come in to do the treatment, he'll avoid the needle. This is before all that civilization in the day where I don't know. I think American doctor did that too until they started making the what do you call it, the disposable needles. In the day, there was no disposable needles, so the doctor would share the needle, but then they will sterilize it by boil the needles before they used to it for the next um, patient. So lucky me, I was growing up watching all these, and now we had more disposable noodle than anything else in the world. Now you have to go to biohazard where it need to be destroyed and need to be eliminated instead of reusing. but all the medical devices, I think everything else is disposable except for or the surgical equipment where it need to be sterilized and reusable. Oh, thank you. I my daughter painted my nail today. I used to get my nail done, but then I think I'm allergic to the product, and I started to my hand started to break out really bad to the point where like the whole palm was like full of that white itchy little itchy blotches, and I would scratch it, and each time I scratch and it grew some more and get infected, and I thought I got that from doing the COVID injection. So, but then I went to a dermatologist, and she prescribed me one of the expensive cream, and like the first cream I got, it was like that big for like $200. But then it took care of all that issue, though I don't have that dermatitis anymore. It's all gone. So I think it related to food allergy or to the nail product. So I don't get my nail done anymore. And because I cook, so I need to keep it a little shorter. I need to file it down a little bit more. I used to have it longer, because my nail is pretty thick. Every one the longer I could, but then I've been doing crazy stuff with my hands and be breaking the nails. Um, so how's the weather in your area? Getting cold in your area here? Today is not too bad. I in the morning I wear light jacket, and it heat up a little bit. I think it rained. Um, I took the baby upstairs and to put her to sleep, and she took nap, so I took nap with her, and I think I slept through the rainfall. Oh, I I was born in Battambang province, but I live in a small, secluded, uh, se- small and secluded village because my dad, he's a farmer. So, but we have a lovely house in a bigger village. So there are two villages and two farmhouse that we live because my dad have two different farms, so he would travel from one farm to the next. Well, during farming season, we closed down the house, and we would be living in the farmhouse until my dad finished with his farmings, and then we'll return home to the village. So I was born in Battambang. Mm. Battambang is the name, is the province, and and I was born in a little village called Tahan. Tahan is the name of a grandpa named Han. Uh, Ta is grandpa, Han is his name. So Cambodia had tendency to name after the person, um, which is strange. You know, like Mount Rushmore, Mount Rushmore. Oh no, there's no Rushmore, is it? So yeah, Cambodia was typically, we weren't poor at the time. It just uncivilized. I mean, it's not uncivilized. It was not modernized. Everything's still in like that mid 1960. I was born 1963. Um, during Vietnam War, well, after Vietnam War. So everything was manual, done manually. There was no machine that I know of, I mean. But then the machine started to appear, start to be available a little bit more when the Japanese and Chinese start to introduce their equipment, for Cambodia, which is indigenous people. They live in harmony, they live in nature, they do any of that crazy stuff. Now we relying on machinery for everything. Even now people can't walk. They gotta get in the car and going somewhere. Before, I remember when my grandmother visiting her children in another town. Remember going with my grandma, we were just walking across the rice field from one rice field to the next until we reach the village. Now you cannot do that anymore. People riding, right? I remember when my cousin lived only like what, a quarter of a mile from the market. We'd be jumping on a on a moped or on a motorcycle just to go get a lemon. They don't walk anymore. Say, no, let's jump in. uh, I know in Illinois it's cool. There's one of the gentlemen who was the content creator. He's a what do you call it? Politic analyst. He lived in an area. I saw him the other day. He was already wearing a heavy jacket. I said, brother, is it already cool in your state? He said, yeah, in Illinois it's cool already. I'm wearing my jacket. Oh my goodness, it's October. I mean, in some states it already start snowing. Illinois is beautiful, huh? Small and slow. It's not in a fast lane like here in Las Vegas. I think Las Vegas is moving too fast. They need to slow down. there's no there's no there's no enjoyment over here. People work, come home, same old routine, I mean, until they have some time off, take vacation to go somewhere. Other than that, I think my cousin lived in South Carolina, and she lived in acres of land. She bought a 3-bedroom house, like an acre of land, for like $80,000. Here, $80,000, you cannot even buy a garage. The house we live in here, $250,000 here, and of course the mortgage is also high. So my cousin, she said that yeah, we need to move to North Carolina, South Carolina, to get good property with land. I think in some of the states like Illinois, I think it's beautiful. 63, 63 is cold. For me, it's cold. I live in like super heat. Anything under 75, I'll be wearing jacket. Well, I'm always cool, extra cool in the way I think I must be anemic. So yeah, I like cold weather. I prefer cold weather over hot weather. When I was in Cambodia, I'm the only one that sweat like crazy. Everybody else seemed okay. But in Cambodia, they cold like 75 degrees. They'll be wearing sweaters like 75 degrees. wearing sweaters because they're so used to the humidities, and the humidity is so high. It's sweat, it's not dry like US. It's the humidity is so high. It followed with the monsoon, just like in Thailand right now. They flooded like in 16, 17 state. I don't know how you deal with that. I mean, I remember when Texas deal with the flood, and Florida's and a few other country that deal with the storm and hurricane. But in Cambodia and Thailand and Laos, Vietnam and even China right now, you have to deal with all kind of hurricane. I mean, in California itself, it deal with all kind of natural um, catastrophe. But consider in Asia, in Cambodia, flood all the time, which is natural because they receive excessive monsoon rain. No, monsoon, it rain crazy. It can rain 3, 4, 7 day consecutive. I remember growing up in the raining season. It rained so much is that I remember when I think I said that before, that I can I can sit on mm, my family house porch and fish. Because flooding is not something new in Asia. It's it happened before, just that we never heard of because no one talk about it. Now that everybody posts it on social media, so you see more often. But I remember when growing up, dealing with flood was a normal thing during the monsoon, because monsoon bring a lot of rain, and if it rained 3, 4, 5 day consecutive, so where the water gonna go? I mean, it fill the river, it fill the sea, and Cambodia is on low latitude, and it bordered with the Atlantic Oceans. So when the water rise, ocean water rise, it flood the capital city of Cambodia. Flood. They even do it now, but it's not as bad in Thailand. Thailand, they have oh, the ground that caved in and sunk hole, and then get this. So they're facing flood, but yet they're getting fire in the middle of rain. So I don't get it. I don't see how that happened. I mean, so you up in northern Illinois, is a lot cooler in Wisconsin. I had a friend who lived in Illinois also. It's a not a friend, no, another friend. He he was living in Stockton, and one day he went um, he wanted to move his item to Illinois, so he went to look for a good deal for a truck, and I asked him, why didn't you just rent a truck instead of buying the truck? So the truck gave him a lot of problems. So by the time he finished fixing the truck, it cost him 1,000. I said, see, it's about the same amount of money that you'll be renting U-Haul anyway to move all your stuff to drive from California, Stockton, California to Illinois. I can't remember what part of Illinois he was, but I think Little Rocks or somewhere there. I can't remember. It's not Little Rock, Illinois. No, Little Rock City. Anyway, so so then I tell him that was crazy idea. I think he got mad. He stopped talking to me, and Stone used to ask me, "Hey, how's John?" Because he was amazed with with my friend why he would even drive across America just to transport his family belonging. He told me that, well, it's gonna cost this much to rent a hall. He ended up renting this, buying this moving truck. It was a truck. It wasn't a moving truck. It was a truck. It was only, it's not 18 wheeler. I think it was 6 wheelers. So with that truck, there's so much problem with that trucks, and so he never tell us when he got to Illinois. I think he got mad. And, we just tell him now, speak the truth. I mean, if rent the truck, if something happened to the truck, then you have insurance and they're taken care of. When you buy this old truck, a raggedy truck, and can't even get on the hill, and I don't know if he even make to Illinois. And he never call us back. He never answer his phone. I don't know what his pain is. I mean, I help him when he bought he came to Las Vegas to buy the truck, and then I have to he want asked I can park the truck in front of my house, and then my neighbor reported to the homeowner association HOAs, and we have to find place to park for him, and finally somebody was kind enough to let us park his truck until he able to retrieve it. It was all that help, and then he didn't want to talk to me anymore. Like, you know what? Well, I'm not afraid of losing any more friends, so go ahead. Oh my goodness, really? In monsoon in Arizona? Uh, We close to air. We border with Arizona, but I mean, Las Vegas does have monsoon also. Because it rained. Because in Las Vegas it rain in summer. It does not rain in winter. Isn't that crazy? I mean, just living in United States itself, you think that it'll be the same. It doesn't. In California, it rain in fall, it rain a little bit in no, it rain in fall. It rain more in fall. It rain in winter time also, the the raining snow. And but here we get rain in July and August. We don't get rain in fall in California. This is so much different because California get sorry. California get tropical rains because it's bordered by Pacific Ocean. Just like in Southern California, they can grow all kind of exotic tropical fruit because it the weather is similar to Cambodia, save for in winter, a little bit colder. Well, not a little bit, a lot colder in Cambodia. So I worked a little bit on it today. I almost finished a spool. Okay. The spool was this big. You know what? TikTok. TikTok strike me because when I showed the yarn, it had a little, it had a little symbol. So it strike me. I forgot about that. I can't show any kind of brand of any product. YouTube, YouTube. As long I'm not doing unauthorized music, I got strike on the unauthorized song because I saved some of the short on. I saved some of the short on the TikTok, and there's certain music stream music come on, and I loaded up with the Cambodian music, and when I use that as short for my YouTube, the YouTube strike me. so I have to remove it. uh, I think YouTube and TikTok, they don't get along. They're not in the best marriage, I don't think, you know. But then now I learned that YouTube come up with the new things. Before they don't do the short video for you. You know, if I do live stream, it will be just live stream. Now they come up with this new feature where they will do like a 1 minute short feature and post it for you. I'm like, "Dang, that's updating." That was like something new or what? Before they didn't do that. I think in Illinois, June to September, it's your monsoon season. You probably get it from Canada, huh? Canada. Get it from our neighbor, contagious neighbors. Um, yeah, this is gonna be baby blanket. I have so many newborn in my family, so it's it's called motif heart. This is the heart right here. See the shape of the heart. See it? Would you like one? This be nice for a throw. You know? I mean, I love this pattern because it's so easy. I can crochet without looking um, at the pattern because yeah I oh, it's in Phoenix. It had monsoon in Phoenix. It must be, you know. I mean, we get all the rain cloud bypass, either go to Utah or Colorado or somewhere there. But coming from California, I think it go into that little whirlwinds, you know. But but Las Vegas, the good thing about Las Vegas, we don't get a lot of rain. I wish there is, but then if we get rain, we get flash flood like no apparent reason because we at the bottom of the ocean. So if it rain consecutive like in your town, we will be swimming. Like I tell my kid, oh, save the palm tree, so we may need it one day. I'm just trying to be funny. So the motif heart is a large granny square. Okay, so all this these are the triple shade yarn. Okay, so you have this hot pink and the fade pink and the in between. So that's why you see this pattern here. See it? So it started with this shade soft pink, and then you have this off pink, and then into this hot pink. So I'm back to the fade pink to finish off. So I have this much. So I have 3 yarns here, 3 spools. I might be 3 spool would be a good would be like um, because it's expanding. So 1 spool, one of these. So I still have a couple more round before I finish off the 1 spool. So it's about I don't know. So I get about maybe 20 inches already, 20-25 inches. Okay. So this is the huge granite square. It's simple. It's beautiful. It had no seam. Yeah, it started from the middle here. Maybe I'll make one for you for your cover, your throw. I I make one for Stone. I don't know what happened it, and he loves it. His was like the try of the Tiffany green color, and I make quite a few for the grandkids and the great grand niece and nephews. But I have this yarn that I bought for another project that I made for order. So I have 3 left. Wow, I have so many yarns. Cece, yeah, now I said, well, when I retired, I have more time. I'll do more of this crocheting. Uh, for newborn size, for the newborns, it's 50 because the newborn, if it depends if you want this here. Okay, so if you want to make order, and just let me know the color preferably. Okay. So this right here, if I were to work on it seriously for the baby blanket, it would take me about 5 days. Okay. So it took me about 5 days, and depending on what kind of yarn, sometimes the baby yarn is a little bit more expensive. This is not a baby yarn, so the baby yarn is more softer. It's the color is more softer. Okay, so this yarn is just a generic yarn. So see, I don't even show product label on here, and TikTok always said I'm violating it, and it's crazy. I don't care. They can shut down anytime. I don't care. So the neutral color that I did for the baby was off green, off yellow, kind of the the earth tone was nice. Beige was nice for any for boys or girls, like a unisex. So if you like, okay, well, let me know. Um, oh, well, congratulations, baby boy or baby girl. I know my niece, my sister's sons, his wife is expecting a newborn in January, hoping that she'll born on my birthday. Is that your first baby, grandbaby? I have I have seven altogether because just because I have a set of twin, and that helped. It helped multiply the population in my family, and that because I have the most kids in my among my siblings. All my siblings had two two kids the most. I end up with six children. Yes, I end up have six children, and I end up having become the first grandmother in my side of family. So I took all the credit on having most kids and most grandkids in my family. Oh, the second grandbaby. Congratulations, grandma. I love newborn. They're so cute. Just like Brody, she's 7 months now. She started sitting up, so she's reaching different milestone, which is nice. I love newborn. I can cuddle with newborn all day. Remember when my grandbaby, my firstborn, she has her last baby, and she's walking now because she was a nursing baby, and boy, she was like a handful. She does not want to be left alone. She want to be carried all the time. She cannot put her down. She does not like diaper change. She doesn't like, well, she like bath, but she doesn't like her clothes taking off, and she doesn't like her butt wipe, and She doesn't like to be in the car seat. She doesn't like to be riding in the car. There's a lot of things that the baby don't like. The one that just got up from the womb and don't know much about the world, but she does have all that disliking. I'm like, I remember when my other grandkids, they don't like to ride in the car. We'll cry until we get to our destination. It was nerve-wracking because when you have baby crying constantly in your ears while you're driving, it's so distracting, and all that, it get louder and louder and louder. I mean, remember we have to pull over and have the baby nurse and put it back and still be crying. That's why the Cambodian was here. Do not cuddle to your newborn too much because the newborn will get attached quick, and once you get attached, and then your life is over. That's all the baby would do to consume all your time. I remember I did that to my children too. My children never like to sleep by themselves. We have crib. They don't like to be in the crib. They don't like to be by themselves. And boy, you know, like like I said, go back to womanhood where you deal with all that and wonder how we survive through all that, right? I mean, from pregnancy to childbirth and nursing and rearing kids. We done it all, and we look back now like, oh well, it's not too bad. We done it all. So no one can lie to you that you haven't done that. So now looking back, my daughter used to ask me, how do you do that, Mom? I have 2 kids. I'm already suffering. And now that the one that had the kid first, now they're in high school. My firstborn, the twins are about to be 18 in 2 months and graduating next year. So they're already learning how to drive, the twin. And then the one that I live her here with, her son just started high school. But they don't know that the more kids we have, the more challenge we get because you have different age group where they go different school. We have some in high school, some in middle school, some in middle school, elementary school. So elementary school is K to 6 and 7 to 8 is middle school, and then high school is 8 to 9, 9 to 12. So yeah, 9 to 12. So now someone just asked me, one of my kids asked me, Mom, how do you do that? I said, I don't know. I just know that each morning was like haywire, making breakfast and make sure you get to school, make sure I get to work on time and have to arrange ride after school and pay people to pick you guy up. So it was a lot of work. And that's why I said, oh, okay, Mom, I'm glad that I don't have that many kids like you, but then we have 2, but we suffer a whole lot. And I said, well, when your guy growing up is different than this. I said, every generation is different. Consider a couple with husband and wife together, they have their support. They help each other with manage the pick up, the drop up, and the child care. But when you're single parent, man, that's I won't recommend it for anybody. But you do what you need to do to survive. So, I mean, you have to look back. It was a lot of work, Yeah. I know the baby love cuddles. They do. Um, yeah. So am I. Well, thank you for hanging out with me. Cece, appreciate you all the ways, and always nice to have you and hug you also. And we're okay. We to get where we are, we have to go through certain storms, certain tribulation and adversity. That's what makes us a better person, you know. I mean, some has gone through more than others. Some lucky born in a better situation, you know. But other than that, we fine. You know, we live through it. We as long we here take care of ourselves and we'll live a long time. We'll live to tell, right? So have a sweet dreams. I have just a few more minutes before I close out also. Okay. Thank you. You are you are awesome also. I like you for being such a wonderful person that I gotten to know through social medias. I appreciate you and sleep well. Sweet dream. Okay. I'll see you another time. Hopefully tomorrow. See if I don't get to cook because the baby take a lot of times, you know, and by the time I'm done with her, I don't feel like cooking anymore. Before I work as an interpreter. When I'm done with interpreting, I was free. Now I have the baby, and then sometimes I do interpreting, and then she's trying to talk between. You think that I was talking to her when I do interpreting? She think that I was talking to her, so she keep making noises. I'm like, ah, that is not working. And I tried to walk away, and she didn't like me walking away, and she started crying. So anyway, well, thank you, Cece. You have a good night. Okay, I appreciate you being on here. Love you back. All right, my folk, and welcome all of you on TikTok also. I appreciate you. Yeah, so next time when I see you, hopefully that I'm halfway done. Okay. It's a beautiful blanket. Let me know anybody need to order. Okay, it's it's made to order to make. Because I don't have supply on hand. Okay, every time I make one of these, somebody always want it. So um, I give so many to families and friends and acquaintance. So if you want one, or you can learn how to make it, I'm showing you how to make it. Okay, so let me know if you want me to like start from the beginning. Very easy. Okay, this is one of the easier, the most easy patterns. Okay, let me give you guys heart back too, because you gave me heart. Michael, សុខសប្បាយទៀតទេរីករាយដូចគ្នា Michael ខ្មែរ Michael ខ្មែរឬក៏ Google Translation. Yeah, we do the heart. សុខសប្បាយទៀតទេ It sounds like Google Translation, huh, Michael? Are you doing Google Translation? You know, I read Cambodian, right? I'm a native of Cambodia. Say who's on here. TikTok. Hey, thank you for being here. I know it's getting late. You know, I'm trying to learn because most of my followers are not from US. Okay, most of my followers are from Cambodia, from Thailand, from Laos, from India. So it's evening here. It would be their morning or noon there. So either way, it doesn't matter whether I'm on daytime or nighttime. I'll be catching a whole bunch of people from different side of the world. So who like making blanket? Who crochet? Someone tell me an old crochet from old lady for grandma. No, not anymore. It used to, but not anymore. Crocheting is not for grandma anymore. It's for a career person. Okay, for me, I'm doing this for occupational therapy. It helped me relax. It helped me stay focused. It helped my mind to stay focused, when I bombarding with something or stress about something. I'll crochet. In fact, I need to get this done anyway, though. Regardless, I still have the the Cambodian flowers. I had 9 done. I still have to make the bouquet. I still have to make the basket for it because it's gonna go to one of you. I want to select the name and see who's on here supporting me and giving me the support. I will select a couple names. I have a couple things that I'm done already that I will give away. All you need to do is pay for the shipping and handling, and you'll have your gift. Okay, so oh អឺមិនទាន់គេងពីព្រោះមានការមុនចូលគេងម៉ោង12បានចូលគេង so Michael នៅឯណានៅស្រុកខ្មែរឬនៅរដ្ឋណា Michael ចាបើនៅសហរដ្ឋហេតុអ្វី Michael មិនគេងបើនៅស្រុកខ្មែរអានឹងទៅភ្លឺម៉ោងប៉ុន្មាននៅស្រុកខ្មែរឡូវម៉ោង10ម៉ោង10ភ្លឺម៉ោង10ព្រឹកខ្ញុំអង្គុយចាក់ភួយឃើញទេខ្ញុំចាក់ភួយឲ្យកូនងាមានចៅកើតនៅមិនទាន់កើតទេមានចៅនឹងកើតហើយខ្ញុំមានបានខ្ញុំចាក់កន្សែងភួយនេះរតនាសុខសប្បាយខ្មែរ no Rihanna sorry Rihanna hello to you too your name sound almost Cambodian I'm sorry about that welcome thank you for being on here I am typically you will see me cooking but cooking is not the only thing that I do for fun I crochet also I love crochet this one right here is called motif heart so look you see that little heart right there yeah. So it's a granny square it's gonna get 4 corner okay so this is the cable to the edge of the square so I have four edges yeah so I have 3 spool of yarn so I have not finished a spool yet so when I get to the second spool it'll get about that big when I get to the last spool probably about 35 inches perhaps that would be just perfect and for a baby blanket it's good for newborn but this will last for their entire life because every time when I make one of these blanket for family members or friends and have you they always keep it for souvenir you know what are my TikTok friend doing welcome You like crochet? I know, like I said, crochet is not just for old lady anymore. You know that crochet is good form of therapy. It relaxing, especially when you need to count um, all this design. If you don't count it, you missed it. I miss it a lot. Sometimes I have to retract and redo a whole bunch. So that's why I want to make sure that I got everything correctly. Sometimes I make mistake. I didn't even bother because when I went ahead already, I don't want to go back and retract and redo. For me, it's calming me. It helped me uh, relaxing. Mm. Either I do painting to relax, or for fun, or for leisure, or I do crocheting. Not only that, or for painting, I can give. I can give to for gift also. But this right here, it's more like it's more preferable. You know, it's for when the winter come. You can do as wrap. You can do this for blanket, especially for the newborn. And parents always appreciate and love homemade item for the baby. But making baby blanket, well, blanket is a lot longer than a scarf or a beanie because hello Hamid. Well, thank you. Unless you unless you crocheting, you can come on here. You ready to crochet? Come on, Hamid. All right. See it? See that beautiful heart? Hmm. It's a string of hearts. It just go in a square around. When it's end, it end when it reach the right circumference or the right size that I need for the baby blanket. It's gonna be a good size because this is something. It's a keepsake blanket, so this will carry until they become toddler. For my daughter, she kept all of her baby blanket that I made for the twin. Um, she still have it. So the blanket that I made for the twins are now 18 years old. So the twins said they want to keep it for their kid. So there you have heirlooms. You know, family pass through family. It doesn't have to be anything that precious or valuable. Something that's handmade from family members it's worth keeping. See, because you see that right, you have all this yarn here, and you don't see the worth of yarns until you see the product of how you turn the yarns into some beautiful design like this, right? So just like you be seeing the cotton in the field, you don't see the value of the cotton until it's spun into cloth, into material, right? Any raw material, any supply, unless it's being utilized and unless it's being put into design, unless it's being made into dress or to something valuable, then it has value. Other than that, we don't see value of anything unless it gone through certain transformations. Just like cooking, okay, you see this jumbo jumbo shrimp. Okay. You know they're good unless you cook it and then and then you see the value of the taste of the jumbo shrimps. If you see the raw shrimp, you say, what you gonna do with it? But once you bring it home and you cook it, and then you know the value of nutritional value is to will be a great protein for some folk. I mean, a few of my kids don't like shrimp. People say, oh, "What? You don't like shrimp? Why?" Same thing, I mean, sometimes people don't like pork, they don't like beef, they don't like chicken. My we have a friend. Her family is also difficult because tango tango and yarn. Tango, you crochet also? Hello to you too. Tango in yarn. I like that. I know, right? If this is about to get tango soon, look at that. Okay. Mm. I yeah, this I still have two more for this project here. So I have not even finished a spool yet. Mm. So one spool of this I got about, let me see, 25 inches worth long. I think hold on, let me see. So if you crochet, you know what I'm doing right here. If this is the granny square, it's a motif heart. A granny square motif heart patterns. So easy. It's it's easy, and it's it's not that quick, okay? Because each each heart take a lot of spinning, take a lot of take a lot of crocheting in one heart. See, right? So you have first row, second row, third rows, and then you create a new row of heart. And here's a cable, the connecting and putting new heart, adding new heart, like you see here. And this cable divide between the four corner. So each corner has this cable here. Yeah. It's beautiful. If you do crochet, oh, you need to. I need as well, but I'm not. I only know how to do two or three design or patterns of knitting. I don't know how to do all the fancy twist and turn yet. I can do just basic knitting. Okay. But crochet, I'm pretty good with crochet. I think I like crocheting than knitting. I knit some scarf, and I still have my knitting needles. But this right here, what I like about this is that I can take it on the airport. It passed through TSA. I when I fly, because I fly a lot. But this year I try to avoid it because all that crazy thing going on with the aviation department. But I flew a couple times already, despite of whatever. So I used to bring crochet on the plane because I get nervous when I'm flying, whether it's distance or a close proximity. Still, on the plane, you up there to distract my my mind. So I crochet, and I rarely fall asleep on the plane. When I was when I was traveling with my mom overseas, it was like what, 18, 19 hours of this three transfer flight, just two transfer in America. No, one transfer in America, one transfer into an Asian country, and then to the destination. So there was like, well, let me see, from here to Seattle to South Korea. So that's two. So yeah, two transfer. and total flight was about 19 hours. So with 19 hours, I was able to finish a scarf, actually a beautiful scarf. And the best time to crochet for me is when the weather is cooler. I'm motivated more to crochet during winter because um, I feel the warmness from the yarn, so I can crochet. I can stand doing that. But to crochet in summer, I feel hot just to look at the yarn. It make me I radiated the heat from from just looking at the yarn. Is that weird, you know? So that's why now I'm trying to get all this project done because it's winter come, and of course there's greater demand in winter when people want their beanie done, they want their scarf done, they want their beanie, they want the headband done, they want their little booty done, they want baby blanket done. All of a sudden said I have the whole summer long, no one want anything. But when now winter come, everybody decided that they want something done. Okay. So I said, well, wait until next year then when I feel like I'm doing it for you. So I, when I was in Stockton, my daughter, my adopted daughter, she taught she taught the folklore dance, the Cambodian classical dance. She started her own company, so she needed the money to. Oh, really? Did they allow you to bring knitting needle onto the plane? Oh, great. I have to try that next time. I was just afraid that the TSA would consider it as a weapon, but then, hey, if you can bring it, that's super cool, huh? Super cool. Because I don't bring scissors onto the plane with me. I'll bring the nail clipper. You know, I'm trying to minimize the possibility, the impediments of being being questioned, being pulled over, or being searched by the TSA. So I always bring this. It was safe, so I always bring this. Now that you said that you can bring the scissor and the knitting needles, that's pretty cool, huh? I mean, the plane. I think I know that we do need those sort of things to help us ease our emotion, ease our what you call it, ease our stress and what else, anxieties, because people do get anxieties over rushing to the airport, rush to TSA, rush to the gate, and come to find out that a 2 hour delay. Or first they say, oh, 30-minute delay. They need all kind of crappy stuff. This is what I learned about the 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 flying company, or the whole variation company system, is that they're good about taking you somewhere, but to bring you back, they get a little shenanigan because I flew East Coast a few times per year. As I don't have so much issue going, but coming I do have issue because they're like they can take you, but they don't want to bring you back. And first they start with 45-minute delay, they change the gate, and a 2 hour delay, and a 4 hour delay, and 5 6 hour delay. At the time I said I want my money back. I witnessed so many ugly stuff at the gate where people miss the flight when the gate closed. They demand to have the gate open, and the TSA police came, and then the sheriff came. They can't resolve the situation. I also witnessed where people get really belligerent when they late, or when they miss the flight, when the TSA line too long, when the TSA kind of slow, when you kind of in a hustling mode, and notice that the line's not moving, the TSA security was going slower and slow. So I learned that when they're going slower and slower, knowing that they know that the flight gonna be delayed, but they don't let you know that. They just want you to like hustle you. And the worst thing about going overseas is that the flight is crazy. It's the international flight is it's especially when there's exchange flight or connect flight. It's just like you have 30 minutes to get to like the 30th something terminal, and with the heavy bag it got heavier and heavier and heavier. That when I traveled to South Vietnam years ago, like in 1992, 1994, this before Vietnam really had their independence. I remember when the flight delay. I remember when I have the personal bag that I had some magazine that I want to read, and then when I have to go from one gate to the next gate, and I have this backpack that is just got heavier and heavier. So I will like throw away the magazine, throw away the things that I thought I needed when I need for traveling. And because when you're hustling, you get tired, you get frustrated, you have that overwhelmed feelings, and the bag seem to get heavier, your feet seem to not keep, the feet seem to stop moving faster, and you look at the clock, you're gonna miss the flight, and you're still like another mile to go, and little you know that you can take tram and just go whoop to the next gate. But then since exchange flight, so you don't know all that systems. So but what I learned here in Las Vegas, that certain flight, we just uh, take the rail train, just instead of walking. Sometimes I did that on purpose. I just want to walk if I don't have all the heavy carry with me. I don't want to take the quick train. I just want to walk because I have time to kill. But when you're late, seem like everything is slow. This where like when you rush, the clock seem to tick. But you know that the time remain the same whether you late or early. It does not change the time. But our anxiety does change the whole dynamic of it. Anyway, I'll call in for tonight. I have to get my beauty sleep, wash my face off, and ready for tomorrow. And I appreciate all of you for coming on and to support me in my channels. And hopefully, I have the chance to cook tomorrow. As you know, that I am an online chef, so I do a lot of cooking. I cook a lot of Asian food. I love American food. I love Mexican food. I love Chinese food. I love Vietnamese food. I love Thai food. I cook a lot of Cambodian food. Uh, I am native of Cambodia, live in America, so I have extensive knowledge of food in different countries because I love eating. I love food, so I learn. I study. I work in different restaurants. I have that first-hand training. So I decided that to share my compassion with all of you. I don't like to work in the restaurant anymore. It's hard work. No, I don't like to cook in the restaurant in that high demand where, no, that's too much. It get me dizzy. So I only cook for me, my family, and for my sweetheart, and for party maybe, for gathering maybe. But other than that, I love cooking. Cooking uh, is my number one compassions. And I crochet. I crochet for fun. I used to crochet a whole bunch for fundraising for my kids and stuff like that. And I stopped crochet too much because it uh, when you stare at something too long, your eye get deteriorated. So I started wearing glasses, and then now I've been off glasses. I just learned to crochet with bright colors. You see better, but dark color, I don't like dark color because it's hard to see when do certain patterns. So if you are beginner, start with light color, bright colors like white, yellow, perhaps, and pink. Don't do black. Okay, black is hard to see. It's hard. It's not blending too well. It's blend too well where you can't see. So if you're beginner, if you like me to go over this pattern, I'd be happy to just message me. Okay. Like I said again, thank you for being here for me. And if you have not already subscribed to my channel, especially the YouTube channel, please do like, share. I like that heart. I give you a heart back on the TikTok people. They're awesome people. I appreciate you always coming on here, sharing, and conversation is great. And YouTube people also, I appreciate all of you and wish you a beautiful evening. And if it's morning for you, then good morning to you and be safe. Stay safe from all those. If you're affected by the flood, by earthquake, whatever that causes you to cause fears and anxieties and stress and all that, and just if you believe in prayer, then you pray. You know, I mean, what I learned is that God do not give us something that we cannot handle. Okay, some of the thing that happened to our life is just it's just gonna mark the path, and it'll get better. Okay, just nothing stay permanent, not even our own problems. So just remember that. Okay. So if you're affected by the flood in Vietnam, in China, in Thailand, in Cambodia, in Laos, in Philippines, wherever country that's affected by natural catastrophe, I pray that you be safe, that you be comforted, and that God loves you, and that we concern and send love and hug to all of you. Okay. Until I'm back here seeing you again, I appreciate you always and so much love to all of you. And good night from me. Thank you, Tango and Yarns. Appreciate you sharing your experience. Now I learn. Okay. You have a good evening until I see you again.